Maybe we should scratch all that. We should just throw that all.
What up? It's Layway. Heartache.
Thank you. Cool. All right, guys.
Welcome back to our channel. Let's get started.
So I'm at UCLA right now.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. Football games are really fun.
When your team's good.
Well, my team sucks. It's still fun. Sometimes I make it to the game.
I go to UC Berkeley and
Go Bears.
Go Bears. And
Bears.
I kind of had a rough time choosing. There was a moment when I was going to Santa Cruz.
She even
Santa
posted
Barbara.
about it.
Even posted about it. Had to switch over.
She said, just kidding, guys. Going to Berkeley.
So I was not great at decision making. I had no idea what I was doing.
I am going to Colorado State University. Go Rams. Shout out. And I love it.
A very small school in Colorado in Durango called Fort Lewis College.
Shout out to my small schools. My shorts.
Go Skyhawks,
baby. Yeah, I moved to San Diego, hated it, so I moved back. And yeah. Yes, I want to go to school, and I always thought that I would just go to school, right after high school. But I didn't do good in school, I couldn't get into a good school if I applied to one because I did awful, just straight awful in high school. And I've accepted that and I've owned up to it, I'm not oh, it was my teacher's fault. It was my fault. I really just didn't do shit, and I just sat and procrastinated, didn't do any work, and just failed through high school and just lived and thought that was okay. But obviously I'm paying for it now. I couldn't go to a good school, and so if I go to school, I have to go to a city college to get my general ed, do all that shit. Oh, stuff. I keep so sorry. All right, guys.
Can I pipe in?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I think there is
Pipe
this.
in.
Can I pipe up? You don't mind if I pipe it up?
Okay. So when you talk to someone like you, Nat, you seem like you are so intelligent, and you
Thank you.
totally have
Keep
this
going.
huge
More.
I don't know,
more.
you just have a perspective on the world that's very interesting, and you're creative. So
Thank you.
it sucks that there's this huge stigma when there's so many creative people that school's just not for them, or they'll take a year off and just to learn on your own and stuff. So
Yeah, and I think that when I'm everyone would say, Nat, what are you doing after after high school? And I'd be oh, I'm going to San Diego to go to the city college. But yeah, I really wanted to go to San Diego, but I did not want to go to the city college. That was truly not what I wanted to do, but I would just tell everyone that because that's what they that's what I felt all the adults wanted to hear. People would be what do you want to do? And then I'd be oh, I'll go to the city college, and oh, you're going to start in the spring. And I'm yeah, but I didn't want to start in the spring. I don't even if I go, I want to go next year. And it's it's awful because I feel people really do struggle with that in high school. And it's they feel they have to just because it'll be it's a people pleaser. You say, oh yeah, of course I'm going to school after high school. But it's I feel I just want, if anybody watches this, I don't know if anybody or listens to this, I just if you're going to school but you have a friend that doesn't know if they want to go to school, do not make them feel bad for not wanting to do that. Yeah. Don't say you have to go to school. School is so important. It's yeah, sure, school is good, but it's still you can if you can't afford to go to school right after high school and all you can afford to do is work, then work. If if you it's just people don't talk about the other issues that they have to face when not going to school. Some people have to stay home and support their families by working. It's not they can afford to go to school, and yeah, city colleges are cheaper, but it's still it can be expensive for people. It's just
totally.
And it's people also, a lot of people don't have the resources or the help, and some people are too scared to ask for that. And it's just no, it is just I just hate when people are oh, you're not going to school without even considering that something else can be happening,
definitely.
or there could be something. Go ahead.
Can I pipe it in?
Pipe up?
That was wrong, whatever I just said. That was real wrong. But I was just going to say, I also feel there's this idea oh, college fixes everything. College just makes it every problem go away. And
you get work immediately after college.
You get a 6-figure job. And, no, there's no avoiding a quarter life crisis. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be what am I doing with my life?
Exactly.
So
unless you dead ass know exactly what you're gonna do with your life.
Unless you're an electrical engineer and you're just cool.
I am a doctor. I doctor.
But like my sister is about to graduate. So I just pop this in real quick. She's an English and Spanish major. She like did amazing in high school, whatever, went to a good school. But it's like she is going through basically the same thing that you're kind of going through, but just 4 years later and with a college degree. But like that doesn't really, I mean, it gives her a little bit of credibility, but it doesn't mean that she has her life magically figured out. And that's what I think is so important is like, yeah, college is a good step and it's like it gives you a stepping stone and it can be really important, but I don't think that it should just be sold to high schoolers as like this magic solution and that if you don't go to college, you won't be successful, you won't be happy. It's like you have to figure out your life either way, and I think it's so important to like teach kids that it's going to be hard no matter what you do, but it can also be like you don't have to go to college. You can still have, or even if you do go to college, like it doesn't have to be right after high school. I just think we just push this one path, and it's like, it just seems a little bit, it seems like kind of like misinformation.
You know, and I also hate when I hear people shitting on the JC. There's nothing wrong with the JC. We have one of the best JCs in the freaking
State.
world. Like,
No, it's a country.
Country.
Right?
Is it the country?
I think.
I thought it was state.
It might be the state. It might be state.
Definitely.
Anyways, like it's a good JC, and that like it's just like, that really pisses me off. It's like, so what if they like not everyone wants to leave? You know, it's like, are we supposed to all like want to leave immediately after high school? I mean, like, yeah, I know a lot of us actually was just like no more Sonoma, but like some people aren't like that. Some people like it here. Some people, you know, it's easiest for them, easiest for their family. Easy, you know, it's like I don't know.
I feel like I was an entitled little asshole when I was like a freshman. Like, never go to the JC. Like, I was just a dick. Oh no.
Oh, what?
I
The
think
T-bomb.
also, like going back onto, I mean, like, is like you just said, freshman year, like, oh, I'd never go to the JC. And I definitely noticed through the college application process, like, we have great resources here, super helpful, but I at least noticed like a huge push for these like big schools that everybody's heard
A through
of.
G literally pushes you to go to a UC. Like it's like
Yeah, and it's
and they don't even talk about like if you don't take A through G, you
and-
can go to like you know.
and that if you think like a smaller school is better for you, do your research and go for it, because it was the best decision I've ever made going to the school I went to. And at first it was really hard for me to figure that out because all my friends were going to these big schools everybody's heard about, everybody knows, watch their football games on TV, and nobody had. People still get the
Durango.
People call my school Fort Collins.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
really
not
was
Fort
confused.
Collins.
I
It's
really was
Fort Lewis
confused for a
College. My friends don't even know where I go to school. But
Ellie goes to
but yeah, go for the small school.
Yeah. And don't, if you are like, you think you financially can't afford like a private school, don't write it off because they actually give sometimes more money,
Like Eliza.
more scholarship. Like, yeah, Eliza has a really big
And
scholarship.
try your heart, like the scholarships that they provide at Sonoma, apply for them.
You can
like,
find like
you
scholarships
can get
online
so much
too. Like
free
there are some
money
cool.
that will help like your family, especially if like you want to go out of state, and out of state is so expensive. I'm gonna be in debt for a very long time, and I'm just wrapping my head around this, and I don't even know what to do. I'm also having a quarter life crisis, but it's fine if you don't know what you want to do. You have time. You're 18 years old, 17 years old, 19 years old. You don't have to know right now. I'm sorry, you don't have to know. And when people are asking you what you want to do, it's fine to say, I don't know yet, because you're allowed to say that.
And that's totally okay.
The major that I'm doing is public affairs, and literally every single person is like, oh, like, what are you gonna do with that after? And it's like, I don't freaking know, but I've like made up this weird like scenario for my life, which is like not really what I want to do, but like I feel like I have to come up with like this intricate future plan with what I'm gonna do with my major. It's like, no, I'm just like interested in this, and I'll figure it out after. Like,
because STEM kids are mean.
Kidding.
Sorry, STEM kids. People get embarrassed to talk about the harder parts of college because you want to seem like you're having an amazing time right off the bat, and like I don't think social media helps with that. You're posting everything that's fun and amazing, or Snapchatting like the parties
The
you're
good
at.
parts.
Yeah.
Also,
So I
it's
feel
it's
like-
really easy to like make something seem like it's more fun than it actually was, or like you're having such a great time, but you're like not. But
Yeah.
you're like you post a picture and everyone's like, oh, they're living their best life, and it's like, are we
course.
really though?
Yeah, and I feel like that was definitely like hard. I mean, obviously, like when you think about it logically, you're moving to a new place. You've had friends for years here, you know, like totally new city. You have no friends that are there, and you're like in class. It's just obviously it's going to be hard, but I feel like we don't talk enough to people before they go to like prepare them for the fact that it's obviously going to be a hard transition. So I think that for me, it was like obviously like there was a lot of stuff that was great about it, like independence and all that, but it is quite an adjustment, and I think that you have to be expect that you're not going to feel comfortable right away.
Yeah, and coming back to that, another really hard thing was I left at the end of August, so there were a couple people that left before me, and there are a lot of people that left after me, and there's two different feelings associated with that, and one is being left by your friends who go before you, which is way harder than leaving
Yeah.
because you're the one doing that.
Really.
Yeah, relationships change, and your friends are still gonna love you even though you change in college.
Yeah.
And going through that, everybody goes through it, and it's fine. So change is good sometimes.
It's it's great to see like how like everyone goes off to different places and how like to see how they've changed. Like a lot of it is for the better, I've noticed, like within my friends and stuff, just seeing how they've like shifted and grown like through the place that they've been, you know, like the experiences they've had. We all have had different experiences in college, but we kind of have like the same feelings, like homesickness, wanting to
It's
come home,
huge.
Yeah, even
coming
the
back,
beginning,
and then yeah.
Homesickness is the most real thing you have, at least for me, that I've ever felt. Like it was physical,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it
even
was
if you-
so bad.
Yeah, even if you are having like a really great time and you like most things are positive, it's not weird to get homesick. Like
Yeah.
It's
Totally
normal
makes
because
friends
that's
now.
all you've ever
And
known.
when you're
Yeah.
experiencing it, you think it's never gonna go away, and you're
Mhm.
never like it's just you're always gonna feel like that. And then a week later, you're with some kid you just met, and you're doing whatever college kids do, and it's like this relief because
Yeah.
a week ago you never thought you'd be able to be doing that or feel better.
Yeah, I feel like I just want to mention that I feel like homesickness and this isn't a real word, but like friend sickness. Like I feel like part of it is missing home, but it's me.
most the people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you really miss your friends and like that feeling of familiar. Like I think part of it too is like everything's different. It's not like, oh, I'm in a new place, but I'm living with my family, and it's not like I'm in a new place without my family, with my friends. It's just everything's new. But I feel like it really ebbs and flows, and for me at least, it was like not that bad at the beginning, but then like a month in I felt worse, and then like it got fine. You know, it's like for me it just really changed a lot, and it kind of depended, and it didn't always make sense. Like there were times when I felt like, oh well, like I'm starting to have like a really good friend, so like it seems weird that I'm more homesick now. But I think it just kind of you can't really predict it always, and I feel like you just kind of have to let it pass and like keep going. And also in a weird way I feel like it can be kind of empowering to feel like, especially after completing a semester or quarter, being like, okay, yeah, there were times that were hard, like I don't feel like my life is perfect there, but the fact that like I did it and
Yeah,
I like
it's a huge
feel
accomplishment.
like I feel independent, I feel like I'm growing because I was able to be on my own and like have those, you know, you have to rely on
Yeah.
yourself more when you're feeling like you don't have a huge comfort like network kind of.
Yeah.
But we just have to keep in mind that it's like this is a start, like this is
Yeah.
the beginning,
like we're
and
not
we're
gonna
just
have
like
our-
we're still in a transition phase where when we come back home we're glad we're here, and then like we're ready to go back, like
Yeah.
and then it's just it's a nice new like way of life, you know.
Yeah.
and it has like I think we don't think of it like you just think in college you're gonna meet your like best friends immediately.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Like you were saying like was saying how just like it takes time
Takes
to,
time
like,
to form those
actually
relationships and stuff.
like find
Yeah.
the people that you really vibe with and
We've
everything.
had
It's
like 9
we've known
years.
all of the people
Yeah.
in Sonoma for like ever.
life,
And
yeah.
so it's just hard to like convince yourself that like it's going to take some time, because you like, it's just so natural to have friends when you come home, and then like you go somewhere else and you just don't have any friends at all, and you don't have these like lifelong connections with people. And so like when you first meet people, obviously it's going to be like hard. And it's like,
For some people, they can be their total self when you first like meet a new person. But like I had this like weird, and I still kind of have this like weird idea of like having a little bit of like an identity crisis in college because I feel like I've always been defined by my close friends. Like my role was very much like my role in my friend group. Like I had a specific place that I filled, like, you know, like you just act a certain way because that's how you've always acted. And then you go off on your own and you're like, whoa, I can be anyone I want to be. And like, who am I? And I definitely have had this thought so many times, I don't know who I am. Like I truly, and like, I'm not going to be that, like in my friend group, I was kind of a mess, you know, like you guys would all take care of me, but I can't just be that person. I'm not going to meet people and be like, yeah, so I'm messy and gross. You're gonna have to pay for all my food. I never have money. I'm gonna mooch on you all the time. I'm gonna steal your clothes.
Also,
like I'm not gonna do that. But then I'm like, is this even me if I'm not doing that? But then I'm like, who am I? I don't know.
that has a lot to do.
Like not making friends right away is like totally normal and totally fine. And I definitely struggle with that because I'd meet somebody and I'd like, it was weird. Like I wanted to like force them, or not force them, but I was
Just
trying
automatically,
really
like,
hard
have
to be their
that.
friend, and they were trying really hard, and then we were like,
It's just
It's different.
I was just gonna say, like, it sounds like kind of cheesy when everyone, like your parents or teachers are like, oh, like get involved, it'll like make the big school feel smaller. But like in my case, it like totally has helped so much, because it is true, like in the beginning it was like a bit overwhelming with like how many people there were, but I joined like some clubs, and like I'm doing club track, and I'm in a sorority, and it just like makes the big school feel a lot smaller. So I just go try it out, kids.
so I think to wrap it up, we can all share something a little lighthearted, because
Oh yeah,
we talked
this
about
is
some
kind of
pretty,
dark.
It wasn't that dark.
Kinda a little morbid. College is very fun. I
think
love it.
There's a lot of good
Bars.
parts.
If we all
Weekends and go down to this $1 thrift shop, which is super, super fun. It's kind
I'm
of
trying to go.
disgusting because they just like have this old parking lot, and like a dump truck comes and dumps a ton of like kind of like grunge, gross clothes just on the ground, but it's so fun. And
I
then
would
you
go
just
still.
go and you pick through, and we literally go like
That's
every
so
weekend, and you just bring like $5 and you get like 5 pieces of clothing, and it's so fun.
That's really nice.
Dope.
I took a class that was like not really a class.
Ooh.
It's called a decal, and it's like other undergrad students teach it, but they're like older. And it was called FemSex, and it was like this just really cool class. It was like a really personal class where you share a lot about like yourself, and I don't really know how to explain it in like a short period of time, but it was just a really cool group of people of only like 20 kids, and we would meet twice a week for 2 hours, which sounds like a lot, but it was really, really nice. And it definitely gave me like, it was honestly like a big like therapy. Like it wasn't like group therapy, but it was just like a lot of like talking about yourself, and like you could share anything. It was just like a really great space, and like super accepting, really diverse.
I was there for a class.
Yeah.
I went in and visited. It was really cool.
It's really cool, and that definitely like was such a good thing to do my first semester, because when you're in like huge lecture halls, it was really nice to have like a small space with like, and it was like a class, so
Personal
class. So honestly, that was like one of the very best, and I met some really great friends in there too. So.
Yeah.
The place, I live in Fort Collins, and it's the cutest little town. It kind of reminds me of Sonoma, but it's like an hour away from Denver and an hour away from Boulder. So there's like stuff you can do to get out, and there's mountains like an hour away. I went to one of my favorite parts about this last semester. I went up to Aspen for this frat. What are those things called? Socials. They're like the socials.
Rangers?
No.
Darty.
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 Yeah, people say darty.
In college.
Weird.
Yeah,
And
we
it's
throw that away.
stupid.
We're leaving
Yeah.
that one in 2018.
Dangers is
Stupid. So, yeah, I went. One of my favorite parts was like going up to Aspen in the mountains. Like there was snow everywhere. We were drunk for 2 days straight, but
We were,
it was very fun.
what?
Like just to go like see the world and see like what is outside of like this place. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
This is embarrassing. I have no one listening to this.
Yeah, I forgot people were listening to this.
I'm not in college, y'all. I visited some of my friends in college, though. I went to, first school I visited was Berkeley. I've been there literally so many times. People are probably like thinking it's weird because I'm always in Iz's dorm.
And you're wearing
I think people just think we're a couple or something.
Yeah, they probably think we're dating.
She's always there.
Anyways, I've visited Berkeley. I visited UCLA. I visited San Diego State. I visited Santa Barbara. I haven't
Slide
been to
to Colorado,
So
bae.
sorry, guys. I'm about to. When I secure the bag, I'm coming for y'all. This one's you. This one's on you, mama.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite memories is just going climbing with my friends. It's definitely where I've met some of my closest friends in college and found a new hobby, something that I love to do. And I'm looking
Ellie's a
forward
great climber.
to going
So
ice
good.
climbing.
She's gonna break the
in
record.
Uray.
She's gonna
End of
free
January.
solo.
She's gonna
El
free
Paso.
solo.
That's wild.
That's wild.
So yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Freshman 15
Yeah.
is a real thing.
No judging when
Boys are cuter in college.
It's true.
They're not nicer, but they're cuter.
Berkeley goggles are real.
Yeah, just because they go to Berkeley don't mean they cute, girl. I'm telling you.
At least they're.
All right, cool.
No, they're cool. They're cool.
Okay.
They're cool. They're cool.
Signing out.
And, you know, I just, to sum it up, you will get out of Sonoma Valley High School.
Yes,
and
there's
it'll
an
be
end.
one of the best
But don't
moments of your life.
I feel like people are rushing to like get out of high school. High school's great.
enjoy
High
it.
school's fun.
Enjoy it. Enjoy
Like
your
go to those
friends.
dances, go to the events, go to the games. It's fun. Like it's fun. Like
Don't be
I'm
so-
tired of
don't
that.
be
Also, you have
too
no
cool for it.
responsibilities.
It's so
You have
fun.
you don't have to pay for anything, dude.
Yeah, have
You don't have to pay
Enjoy
for
your
anything.
home cooked
And you know what?
meals. Dorm food sucks ass.
I was going to say something, but it would have been really bad. So.
And you get to just like, I mean, you do get to like classes are a lot less. Like you don't have to be like on your best behavior.
So wild.
Like you know what I mean? Like Gary's gonna be like, "Bleh." But
Yeah,
in college,
Gary's out. Shout out
in
to
college you're
Gazelle.
not gonna be like talking. While
Yeah,
the
like at
professor's
high school you can
talking.
kind of like bend the rules, like
I
get
did-
around
I
getting
got-
in trouble.
I
Like
got called out in a lecture of 350 people for
Yeah.
talking.
Mm.
So be
So-
on your best behavior. Brutal.
so, but high school is you just have fun with it. Don't like it's not that big of a deal. It really just isn't.
Yeah, try hard, but also have
It's like have fun.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Go Dragons.
Really?
Once a dragon, always a dragon.
This is getting rangy.
That was fun.
We're done. Cut the beat.
That was a little crazy at the end.
We talked for a long time. I was like.